Hey everybody, this is Modesta Mahiga from Modesta.Africa. I want to talk to you about saying no. Let's learn to say no, and today I'm coming with you with the why and the how of saying no. I've got my notes here. People, do you find that you get in contexts where you are resentful, you are burnt out, you get broke from saying yes to things you know you don't want to engage in, for saying yes to things you know you don't have the capability, you don't have the capacity to take on? So a very short and sweet session today, saying no. Why would I ask you, why would I coach you on how to say no? Because we live in a yes world, and we actually think by saying yes, I'm winning more friends. By saying yes, I'm going to continue getting opportunities. By saying yes, I look like a nice person. Nobody wants to look like a bad person. And so we say yes to our own detriment. Now, why to say no? You say no when whatever it is that is being proposed to you does not fulfill your purpose, your vision, your mission, or your goals. If none of what you exist to do is included in the ask from that person, that organization, that context, that opportunity, then no, it's not for you. So that's the first reason why you would say no. The second reason why you say no is because it goes against a non-negotiable value of yours. There are certain values that you put out in your life, you put out for yourself, and you want to live your life with these values being honored. So when they're being dishonored, if somebody asks you to be part of something that, for instance, discriminates against, human rights, somebody asks you to do something that is unethical, somebody asks you to do something that'll have you away from, your family for stretches of time, somebody asks you to do something, I won't even lie, somebody asks you to do something that is an iota of the price tag you would put on your services or your products, what is your answer? Thank you so much for thinking about me, but no thank you. So if it goes against a non-negotiable value, no is the answer you give. I love how, I think it's Dr. Henry Cloud. You guys have seen me talking about him, talking about the Boundaries book. And he writes that no is a complete sentence. Like you saying no, you're done. That in itself is sufficient to communicate your sentiments, your position at the time. The third reason why you should say no is if you just don't have the bandwidth. So yes, it could fulfill my purpose. Yes, it could be part of my vision and my mission and even my goals. And it aligns with my non-negotiable values, but I do not have either the mental, emotional, financial, time. I don't have the bandwidth to take this thing on. And so the answer is no. One person, 24 hours a day. You need to choose what you're investing each hour of your day, especially since time is not coming back, right? So you need to know how much you can take on, and anything greater than what you had planned and purpose to give, you say no to. If I don't have the money, I cannot help. But when I can, I may be in a position to. If I don't have the time, I am not going to lose sleep. I will make sure that I can only take on what I'm able to handle in the time that I have. If you have no bandwidth, the answer is no, you're not going to do it. The fourth reason why you should say no, and it is completely acceptable, it is absolutely loving and honoring others, because you first love and honor yourself, is there is no established trust. I've recently had several people, and I've probably done this to you guys too, and I apologize, come to me on inbox, on LinkedIn, and somebody would say, hey, what's your goal for this month? Hi, I see you're an executive leadership coach, so how's that going for you? I don't know you. Can we at least have a relationship? I actually asked this lady, I saw her efforts, she'd written to me several times, and I was responding back cordially, but kind of like, no thank you type of thing. And so I just thought to write, I'm like, hey, listen, Wouldn't it be nice if we actually got to know each other first, like we actually established relationship, and then you could tell me a little bit about what you do, and I could talk to you about what I do, but just to ask me outright, what are your goals for this month? And there is no established trust, pushback, no. So those are the 4 whys of saying no. Number 1, it doesn't fulfill my purpose, my vision, my mission, my goals. This is what I invest every single hour of my day doing, right? Including sleeping. That's also investing towards my purpose, my vision, my mission, my goals. So if it is not meeting those, the answer is no. Number 2 is if it goes against a non-negotiable values. These are the values, and I would say have 5. The 5 values that you say, I will not break. I cannot conduct myself, nor allow others to conduct themselves by me if these values will be broken. And you need to decide what those non-negotiable core values are for you. And so somebody brings something that is dishonoring those values, or you will find that if you engage that in that thing, your values will be unmet. Many of us are doing that in the marketplace right now. A lot of us are in environments at work that we absolutely dislike, or the best of it is maybe we just tolerate, and we are screaming every single day, like getting up every day. You need to pep talk yourself. Like, you're like, I need the money, I'm just doing it for now. Then later, when I have enough money, or later, when I'm done with school fees, or later, when if you find yourself pep talking yourself to be in a relationship, in an environment, in a job, etc., then understand there's a non-negotiable value of yours, and it could be income, that is being unmet. The 4th reason is there's no trust. So I am not likely to say yes to you. I don't know you. If at all I think you may have something and I would like to entertain that, then I will ask to speak to you to learn a little bit more. But you just come outright with an ask and we don't have established trust, the answer will be no thank you, but thank you for thinking of me. So just spoken about the whys of saying no, I'd like to now talk about how to say no. I would suggest that you say no as soon as possible after you have reflected on what the ask is. Not one of those, nah, no thank you, no. That comes off as rude. I understand you want to save time, and I understand that you know already, you've already determined beforehand, I'm all about that this is what I live for, this is what I do, etc. So I know when opportunities come that are not for me that I should say no. But we're people, we understand that there are subtleties of relationship, and there's an art of conversation and interpersonal relations. You can't just go, no. So as soon as you have reflected on it, please make the time. It is courteous and it is going to invest in social capital for you. Make the time to respond to the person with a no. The second way of how to say no is personally, where practicable. So if you can write a note, if you don't have that person's phone number, or you can call, or ask for time, you can share your no. If it's not practical for you to do that, maybe you have somebody else on your team that does that is considering what the ask was, then make sure you have the appropriate person of sufficient seniority who will say no. Thank you so much for the opportunity, but at the moment we're not. Or no need to lie if you would never consider it. Don't say at the moment we would not consider it, when what you really mean is, now that doesn't align us in any way. If it doesn't align with you, you can say we're engaging projects, or we're engaged in areas that are this, and this doesn't align with our core business or our strategic outlook. Be honest. The third way you can say no is with reason, if it is tactful. You don't always have to explain yourself to every single person on earth. I just came from explaining myself to my Tanzanian brothers and sisters about why I speak English and not Swahili. Now, I didn't always explain myself. I love you too, Susie. I didn't always explain myself to people coming in individually, but when the ask came out more and more, I just thought, let me address this just the one time. I'm not going to go back and discuss it. I'm not going to go back with the comments. Some people have, messaged me on the side. I just did it the one time. I will make you refer to that video. If you ever ask me again, actually the best I will do is tag that video next time somebody asks me that. And so that's the third how of saying no. With a reason, we're tactful. Not every no needs to be accompanied with a whole reason why you're saying no. Some no's are just no, and that's it. But where tactful, where you think it is appropriate, you can explain why you're saying no to that ask. And then the fourth way of saying no is to suggest an alternative if that is appropriate. If it is appropriate, either you're suggesting an alternative to your availability, your capacity, whether you're saying, oh, this would be wonderful. It aligns with our purpose, our vision, our mission, our goals. But at the moment, we don't have the budget for that. Look for us at this time. Or, absolutely, but not to that extent. We can do only this extent. Or if it's you're speaking for yourself, then I can only do to this extent. Or I would love this, but the timing is off. Could we please consider another time? So where appropriate, you can say no with a suggestion of an alternative. So I want to go back to that. We're talking today about the fact that a lot of us are broke, busted, disgusted because we're saying yes to things that are not aligned with us. We're saying yes to things that we don't have the bandwidth for. We're saying yes to things out of guilt and shame and I don't know, just reputation, what would it look like? And we're dishonoring ourselves and we are holding back our progress. And so today I came to you with the why of saying no. Guys, there's construction happening around me. If you're hearing noise, bear with me. And the hows of saying no. And I'm going to recap for the last time. If you just came in, this is for you. The why of saying no. You're saying no because it doesn't fulfill your purpose, vision, mission, goals. No. If I do this, if I say yes to this, I am saying no to something I actually had purposed and planned to be doing in this time. That is not prudent. That is not wise. If you say yes to everybody else, you're making no room to move things along on your own plate. So think about that. Every yes is costing another no. If that no you just made to yourself and your projects and your goals is exactly what you need to move further, understand what that cost is. I recently taught at Kingdom Leadership Institute at the Joseph Business School in Tanzania. And I asked everybody in the room to give their time an hourly rate. And I asked them to do it in US dollars. I said, imagine that each hour has a rate, like you're a consultant and you charge an hourly rate. Now, for everything you're going to say yes to, it's you investing that. You imagine you're going to get that return or even greater. So if you're saying yes to something that you do not see giving you returns, just think that was just $500, or maybe that was just $1,000, or maybe that was $10,000. Just what I just did right there, that was a value of $10,000. Now I know most of us will be like, oh my goodness, when you think about money, you're like, is that how much money I just wasted? Wait, no. I will not be doing that. Why are we not doing that way? I won't do it for that long. I won't do it for that price. It kind of jolts you when you think of your time is money. So I want you to think about that. So you're saying no if it doesn't fulfill your purpose, your vision, your mission, your goals. You can also say no because it goes against a non-negotiable value of yours. You say no if you don't have the bandwidth. I know I don't have the mental space. I don't have the emotional capacity. I don't have the time. I don't have what they need. It could literally be that all hands are already on deck. There isn't an extra hand to put towards that. There isn't an extra mind to put towards that. So we cannot take more than that. We have capped our limit and our capacity to take on things like that. So the answer clearly is no. And you also say no where there is no established trust. Like, can we get to know each other first? Can we please, understand each other's background, each other's motivations, etc., before you bring that ask Because my first response when you just show up dry like that is no, no, thank you. Because I'm not seeing anywhere where that aligns with me, what I stand for, and where I'm going, and what I will ultimately be held accountable for by my partners, my business, my God, right? And the how now of saying no, we need to be tactful. So you're going to say no as soon as possible after you've reflected on something. Even if you already know beforehand, please use tact in saying no, not like, no, I already know. Like me being who I am, where I'm going, no. Find a emotional intelligent, a tactful, relational way of saying no. But as soon as possible. Just yesterday, this is like a little funny thing. Somebody who I was supposed to work with, asked me to wait a couple of months. And when I got back to them to check with them, they went completely quiet. And, I just let them be, you let people be. I was speaking to somebody else yesterday and they were with them. So this person says, hey, you need to say hello to Modesta. She goes, oh no, I'm going to be so in trouble with her because I kept quiet on her. We were supposed to do something. I told her I need help with something. She looked for me and I kept quiet and I feel bad. I'm like, oh, don't worry. And I made a joke of it. But yeah, as soon as possible, if your answer is no, make that known. And then of course, also do it personally. If at all possible, don't have somebody else, somebody sought you out personally. If it is practical, can you please also respond personally? Unless there's somebody else on your team that has sufficient seniority that handles these things, and it would be appropriate that they respond. And where tactful, not always, say no with a reason why you're saying no. And the last point is give an alternative. If it's practical, if it's appropriate, give an alternative time, an alternative amount, an alternative approach, so that it's not just, I'm just not interested in you. You're not anywhere in my radar. It's to say, I actually would be interested, or I would be interested if it was tweaked this way, changed slightly, or I would be interested if we're talking about this or a different time, etc. So that you're not coming off as a person that just stonewalls, a person that is just closed off, a person who's full of themselves, and because this is the impression you could give, and you don't want to give that impression, although at the same time, it's such an interesting balancing act. At the same time, you don't want to held hostage to people's opinions and not be able to move ahead in the things that are priority to you simply because you just don't want to look bad to people. So there is a wisdom that needs to be applied there. Pray over it. There is a tact. There are ways of doing that. There are things that we say and what people hear could be something different. So we need to be tactful. But at the end of the day, I don't want you to forget this. Today's session is about saying no. Why you should say no, and when, of course, and how to say no. Please start practicing saying no, because a lot of people are burnt out, a lot of people are resentful, a lot of people are dragging themselves in context, a lot of people will suddenly snap and switch up on people. They're wondering what is going on, whether this is at home or this is in the work context. Well, they've been saying yes for so long to something they're so uncomfortable with, they just decided that's it. Had it, I'm done, I'm out. Don't do that. It is your responsibility to communicate to others what you stand for and on what terms you want to engage. It is on you to do that. People will come in with their own agendas. People will come in with their own expectations. It is for you to communicate how far you can meet them, if at all. And if not, you're going to sweetly, you're going to professionally, you're going to neutrally say, thank you, but no thank you. All right, guys, that was today's lesson, saying no. Let me go through and see. I want to say thank you to everybody that's joined me today. Teresia, Beryl, Steph, Mama Dalvin, Fierce First Lady, hello. Faith Victory International, hello my people, that's my family. Ty Smooth, something smooth shooter. Hello, okay. Baraka, Guard 200, Faraha, Wasia, Catherine, Susie, I love you too, Susie. Isabel, hi my sis. Nay, I guess that's Neema. And Adrian, Remy, hello, welcome my sis. Unisex Salon, hi. Linda, Kisalala Nasor, Kisalala, okay, that's your name. Angie Receiving, hi. Moses, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this broadcast. Please take these things. I'm going to put this on YouTube. Take these things and run with them. You know you don't want to say yes. You know that yes is going to cost you something else that would have been of greater value to you and possibly even to them. But it is on you to steward yourself. It is on you to be clear about what you stand for, where you are going, and on what terms, and allow other people, communicate to them, and allow other people to choose them. Will they move with you based on how you conduct yourself? Or, do they think, okay, maybe we're not aligned, they're going to do something else? Don't live with assumptions. Don't make people second guess or guess and wonder. Just be clear about what you want. Communicate that. And I'm telling you, it is so liberating. It is going to allow other people to do the same. And by the way, when other people are communicating to you that no, you need to respect it. Just as you want to be respected when you say no to something, or when you say not on those terms, but on these terms, you should also be ready to respect them when they say no, and when they say not on these terms and other terms. All right. Love you guys. Let me know. I'm going to put this on YouTube. Please do subscribe, modesta.africa on YouTube. And let me know what other content you want to hear. So today was about saying no. I'm actually going to talk about saying yes. Situations where you think I really should say no. Situations where you should actually say yes. And we'll do another video on that. Have a wonderful start to your week. Have a powerful week. Own your week. Much love. Bye.